Stopwatch, please. Thank you.
Stop watching what? I won't apologize for that one.
Yeah, we need to stop watching Star Wars. 5 rotations. 5 rotations. Y'all, 5 rotations of this. We're almost at a year of doing that. Well, we're at the time of recording, we reviewed the preview episode a year ago. And then the year anniversary of us putting up the podcast is coming up. 5 rotations.
It's too many rotations.
Too many.
It's just the beginning.
I think we've done it. Jay, I think you've done it. You've killed the sacred cow, I think.
Listen, if you like Star Wars, I don't know why you're listening to this podcast. Or if you want actual opinions on Star Wars, I don't know why you're listening to this podcast. Because we're just ranting mad people who have nothing left in them.
I would consider that cow pretty dead at this point.
Yeah, cow's dead. We killed the cow.
I loved Ben's stealth pulling up the sandwich into the corner of frame.
Listen. When you need to have a stealth burrito, you know shit's real.
Hello and welcome to Star Wars Every Week Forever, the podcast in which we watch one Star Wars movie every week forever. This week, we end the 5th rotation with the Rise of Skywalkers, and just one specifically who's not actually one. Ben, how's your watch?
Death would be too sweet a feeling for me right now.
Chris, how was your watch?
Well, I hate this fucking movie. And nothing redeeming to say about it. No,
Terrible movie. The worst movie. Strangely, I think I'm more mad watching The Last Jedi at this movie. Not even The Last Jedi, just more mad watching The Last Jedi thinking about Rise of Skywalker than I am watching The Rise of Skywalker. Because I think it's gotten to the point where I experience this total shutdown as soon as Rise of Skywalker starts. Where my brain's turned off, my body's turned off, my eyes are barely taking in what I'm watching, and I'm in a fugue state until the end.
Complete and utter dissociation.
Yeah.
Just like,
I'm so mad during The Last Jedi thinking, oh, it would have been great if they followed up that. It would have been great if they followed up that. Okay, The Last Jedi didn't do this well, but it could have been saved by doing that. I'm just getting more and more mad at Rise of Skywalker the entire time I'm watching it, and then I get to Rise of Skywalker, and I've gone through my grief phase for the rotation, and I'm just like, well, this sucks. I'm at the funeral.
This watch worked out pretty perfectly because it's the watch of the movie that pisses me off the most, and the fucking man of the hour, asshole fucking director himself, Mr. JJ motherfucking Abrams this week came out in an interview and goes, yeah, we probably could have put more thought into these movies. You fucking what? You fucking think?
Do we want to dig into that? I don't have a link to the article.
I mean, we don't need to quote. That's big enough news. It's just nobody cares anymore. I mean, fuck it. We might as well have just fucking let the Game of Thrones guys do their fucking trilogy at this point. What the fuck else would it have hurt at this point?
I'm just glad that somebody actually involved acknowledged the facts.
The guy involved.
Yeah.
The guy who stopped it.
It's like if George R. R. Martin came out like a year ago and was like, yeah, I probably could have done less incest.
Chris, as the king of
So,
wording
buddy.
things terribly, you could have worded that a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, so George R. R. Martin could have worded a lot of things better.
Yeah. He could have wrote less incest.
Yeah, but like for real, what? Why are we canceling Star Wars projects at this point? Just fucking let them all go. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, who
Yeah.
cares? Honestly. Give me the Game of Thrones guys doing a trilogy. It's just fucking Khal Drogo back from the dead, but he's also a kind of Aquaman, but not because copyright. But then he's also a Jedi or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I
He's a
mean, don't say
dragon.
What the
that.
fuck is happening?
Could you imagine the amount of special episodes we would have to do, though? Emergency broadcast of the Game of Thrones first trilogy next week. The Rian Johnson first trilogy goes out, and then the week after that, Khal Drogo, a Star Wars story.
Well, they're not. They wouldn't be special episodes at that point. If they come out with another trilogy, those get added to the main rotation.
No, only if it is titled Episode 10, 11, and 12.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
that's what I'm
he's
saying. If it's a
they're
mainline
yeah.
trilogy.
Well, like, here's the thing, though. The way that the Game of Thrones, people talked about it, it was going to be something separate from the main 9 canon. So if they come out with just like Star Wars _ movie, but there's no 10 attached to it, it's not a part of the main rotation.
It's gonna be really weird if they do start doing that, where they start doing trilogies that are not.
Spin-off trilogies, I guess would
Yeah.
be
It's gonna be really. It's gonna be they're gonna have to title it in a weird way, where it's gonna be.
The best thing I can like compare it to is like the Clone Wars when that movie came out before it was a TV show. That was supposed to be a separate trilogy. We weren't going to add that to the main rotation if history was different and that had worked out that way.
That was
so it's just like
trilogy?
It was originally supposed to be just 3 movies, and then it got turned into a TV show because there was more to work with. And George kind of was like, I like this. Here's my blessing.
And that's what I think. That kind of leads into what my point on this topic would have been.
At that moment where Dave Filoni lost his mind.
It's at that moment when George Lucas and Dave Filoni mind melded into the same person, and Dave Filoni became every intelligent thing George Lucas ever said, and George Lucas became every dumb thing that George Lucas has ever said in his entire life.
Yeah. I feel like Star Wars' strong suit isn't in movies anymore.
No.
I feel like their strong point is their television series.
Yeah, but we're never going to get away from movies here.
I sure hope so, but I don't feel comfortable saying that yet because we've just had The Mandalorian to work off of. Like, I guess Clone Wars and Rebels, but I wouldn't put those in the same category necessarily.
No, but I would also say I prefer watching them to most of the sequel movies.
And let's be real, if it wasn't for COVID, there would have been a new Star Wars movie out this year.
I don't know about that one.
The original projections of Star Wars movies put this out at 2021 or 2022.
Yeah, but that was also supposed to be the Johnson trilogy that we haven't heard about.
No, it was supposed to be
Oh, the Taika Waititi thing?
Wasn't this after Taika Waititi? The last time they updated us, he hasn't even started officially writing it yet, so that's going to be a while.
He's a busy man.
I think what I think it was that screwed everything up was, we had a bunch of spin-offs planned, including, if I'm not mistaken, there was a Boba Fett and a Darth Maul movie projected to be in the works, but then they pulled the plug after Solo didn't perform great. They had that gag order on all the spin-off movies where it was like, we're going to keep working on projects, but we're going to not do spin-off Star Wars movies for a while.
I have no idea.
That's when, there were all those rumors after that happened that they were pulling the plug on Obi-Wan, apparently. But, luckily that ended up not being the case.
Yeah, they just kind of went another direction with it.
Was Obi-Wan originally supposed to be a series, or was it originally to be a Star Wars story, quote-unquote?
We'll never know for sure, but because it was never announced officially until it was a TV show, but it was assumed to have been a movie up to that point.
Which, like, if I'm being honest, I might have preferred. We've talked a lot about this Obi-Wan project, and I'm super excited about it. I don't need like 6 episodes of Obi-Wan not being on Tatooine doing random. Like, movie could have worked out so much better because it could have been a quick detour, like a one-off thing where, like, you had to do something. If you're gonna fuck with it, at least fuck with it as little as possible.
Could have just been space cheers.
Jay will forever be mourning space cheers.
It should have been space cheers.
Make this Obi-Wan show the Star Wars TV's version of WandaVision. Just make this the super weird one that, like, takes an experimental route, like...
This year, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen.
Oh God, no.
Get caught in a Fallout-like device and relive the 50s for 7 episodes. And then... I guess they wake up. I don't know.
It's just Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen doing, like, tap routines.
Occasionally, like, there's in episode 1, there's like a moment where Anakin accidentally sets like a towel on fire, and Anakin's just looking at Obi-Wan going ha 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 ha, and all of a sudden the cameras change to make it clear that this is no longer being filmed like a 50s TV show, and then that's the end of the episode. We'll get somebody from that 70s show in there, the dad this time, not the mom.
Someone looks over at fucking Kevin Feige and they're like, "The fuck is this?" And he's like, "This one's just for us."
This one's just for us. We'll pay you $1 million and it's just gonna be shown to my kids.
Yeah, we gave those fucking nerds Mark Hamill. This one's just for us.
It's just for us. Oh God, it's reaching like Hallmark Channel levels of... I should preface this because we are on a podcast. I have always theorized that the Hallmark Channel has blackmail against many of their actors for how long that they end up there. So now I'm just imagining that Kevin Feige has blackmail against Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor just to get that show filmed and then put in his basement somewhere.
You see, I think it's partially a trap because we all know Hayden Christensen is like dying to do something Star Wars again. So I think this is just a carefully constructed trap to get Hayden Christensen doing something.
Yeah.
Have I ever given my Hallmark confession on this podcast?
No.
I have a terrible confession to make.
What is your confession?
So I regularly visit my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And the one time I went to visit her, and she was just like lounging around in her basement, which is like their like rec room area. That's like a living room, TV room kind of thing. And she had the TV on. She's like, "Oh, I was just about to take a nap." I'm like, "You can rest up. I'll just chill out." And she's like, "Here's the remote. You can put on whatever you want. I doubt you want to watch what I have on." And it's the Hallmark Channel. And about an hour later, she wakes up, and I'm staring at the TV. I don't know what the fuck happened, but fucking Hallmark Channel fucking entranced me.
Dude, you think I haven't watched multiple Hallmark Channel movies? They're fascinating in their weirdness.
Right?
Come to find out, Ben was just watching Dinotopia for an hour.
He watched all of the episodes in that amount of time. Speaking of desperately needing to get Hayden Christensen into movies, he should have been in this one. Maybe we should talk about Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, yeah. This movie. I found a gem in this movie that Jay is going to hate me for bringing up. But while they're getting the data retrieval from Tito fucking Bulio at the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
Different alien. Tito was the dude who captured BB-8 at the beginning of episode 7.
Continue.
So after they get the data from not Tito, they're doing like the evasive maneuvers in the Millennium Falcon, and there's like 4 frames where it's just Claude fucking sliding across the door of the Millennium Falcon. It's not like in the background. Like, that is the shot.
Oh, that's why he was there. A shitty joke.
Claude makes the dumbest fucking face on the one frame.
It was in JJ Abrams' contract. Look, I gotta have Charlie from Lost from Star Wars back. I gotta make sure that we have the lead kind of like have a romantic moment with a worm, and I gotta make sure there's another worm on the Millennium Falcon so I can just see it slide back and forth. Are we good? Okay.
Her and that snake did kind of have that moment,
yeah,
didn't they?
We've
They
talked
really
about
did
it a little
kinda
bit.
have a moment there.
We've talked about it a little bit. After the shot ended, JJ kind of looked at her and said, "You two did I feel really strange and like chemistry there?" And Ray was like, Daisy Ridley was like, "I really felt like we had chemistry there too," and they both got excited.
Oscar Isaac and John Boyega make eye contact. Oscar Isaac's like, "Ray gonna fuck that snake?"
I would like to say for the public that I watched the last about 40 minutes of this movie on a call with Chris and friend of the show, Zins. I would also like to say, and this is a little hint at what the next rotation is going to be like for me without saying what the next rotation is. While Ray and Kylo kissed, I was treated to Chris singing the Law and Order theme, and he didn't know what was going on the screen.
Was it Law and Order, or was it Law and Order SVU?
Bum, bum.
Yeah,
oh no, it was like the music.
Thing. Yeah,
I thought it was like
the
voice intro where it's like
no
in the criminal justice system.
Nope. You can't sing it here, Chris. We'll get taken down so fucking fast.
That's why I only did the dun.
Yeah, that happened. He had no idea where I was in the movie. It just worked out perfectly. Then,
hi.
Lore question.
Oh boy.
Is it accurate to say that the war with the Empire ended at Endor?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So,
Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign.
Essentially, yeah. Immediately after the Battle of Endor, Operation Cinder began, which basically there were a bunch of these droids with holographic faces of Palpatine's face that were triggered to activate, and they carried out the final orders of the Empire, which was Operation Cinder. Palpatine's philosophy was, an empire that cannot protect its emperor is flawed and must be destroyed. So essentially, he has the Empire implode.
That's great.
That is,
Chris said
this
is
really
where the
good.
campaign of Battlefront 2 takes place.
Yeah.
Now listen.
It's really good, and the Battlefront 2 campaign doesn't get the credit it deserves for being a very good Star Wars story, including one of the best current canon appearances of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. But essentially, Operation Cinder was just like, hey, we're gonna just like, before the Empire was just like, we're going to oppress as much shit as possible. Operation Cinder was like, hey, we're gonna use absolutely all our resources to destroy as many things as possible, especially ourselves.
What happens if Big Daddy Palps dies of natural causes? Now listen, if I die, the Empire dies. I will set forth this Operation Cinder, and the Empire will die because they failed to protect the one true leader. But
Lord
sir,
Vader.
what happens if they do protect you all the way to your death and you die of natural causes? I cannot die, but what if you do? Like, you can only fend off the hands of time for so long. Then you failed to give me immortality, and the Empire still dies. It dies with me. It's all about me, Big Daddy Phelps.
Lord Vader, I know I've been training you and making you my apprentice, but when I die, I know you'll still be young, and your reign will only just be beginning, but no, I'm bringing it all down with me. take it down from the inside. We're gonna just set
My
the whole thing on fire.
Oh, my very young apprentice.
My God.
It was never about you. It could have been if you hadn't been burned to a crisp, but hey, hey, where'd your leg go? Where'd your leg go? Where's your
Goddamn
leg?
fried.
There's,
Man, we'll really riff on anything at this point to not talk about Rise of Skywalker.
there's a moment at the beginning of the movie, the final shot of Palpatine you see before the movie actually starts, where Kylo Ren goes, "Who is she?" And the smile that Ian McDiarmid gives off such yes, Palpatine fucks like vibes once you know what the plot is. It's such a broad, like not even evil, just prideful smile. And it's like, yes, I fucked, and I fucked often in my day.
Except he fucking didn't.
I know what a canon is.
I know, but
I
it was just
had-
like,
Look,
Ah.
we do nothing here but refute the canon, alright? Fuck their lore. Only our lore matters. Alright? And if we say Palpatine fucks, then Palpatine fucks, damn it. Alright?
I need to bring up a question that like so say we are refuting the Palpatine clone siring Rey bullshit. I need to ask a question that was asked of me the first time one of my friends watched this movie, and that was I need to know if Palpatine fucks, was it before or after he got lightninged?
After, it has to be.
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, because of Rey's age. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, because Rey is the granddaughter. So it would have to be before, yeah. It would have to be before. So he sired a child while he was Chancellor.
Named Anakin Skywalker.
He sired 2 children when he was a Chancellor.
Also, so I have another question. So, Kylo figures out that him and Rey are a dyad in the Force. Somehow, he's just like, well, you're Palpatine's kid, and I'm a Skywalker, so therefore we're a dyad.
It's like, we're both kids of somebody. And Rey's like, you really are a special kind of stupid, aren't you, Kylo?
I'm gonna have to be that person now. Snoke. No, it doesn't even make sense. I was about to say it makes sense in canon because Snoke was the one that said he connected their minds. But after Snoke died, even in The Last Jedi, they still had that Force bond. So I was gonna say they know that they are interconnected in a way that everyone around them doesn't understand. So it wouldn't be that big of a jump to say he understands that they're a dyad and Palpatine doesn't. But
if Snoke knew, Palpatine would have known.
yes, exactly.
How the fuck does Palpatine go the entire run of this movie and the 2 movies before, because he's apparently supposed to be behind the scenes the whole time, without figuring this shit out? When goddamn Kylo did.
Yes, I was in the shadows the entire time. I had a really bad cataract. I couldn't really come out into the light.
I had a brilliant thought, speaking of the beginning of this movie. At the beginning part with, Kylo storming through and killing all those people and, that whole montage. I just had the beautiful thought of that montage while that, Wouldn't It Be Nice song is playing, as he's just like, that upbeat, like, Kylo's just fucking wrecking dudes.
The last episode, we brought the horror. You did. This was you, Chris. Brought the horror of a Zack Snyder Star Wars trailer into the world. I feel like you've just created his trailer for him. Just like Kylo Ren committing war atrocities to the theme of Wouldn't It Be Nice?
It would be that scene slowed down at half speed with a couple of intercut pictures of Rey's profile.
Yeah.
With Hallelujah playing, and it would be black and white.
I was gonna say there has to be Jesus imagery somewhere.
Yeah, there has to be. It's Zack Snyder. Everything's a metaphor for Jesus.
It's just Kylo is shirtless again. He's just T-posing.
His arms are out.
He just punches a wall.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's Adam Driver dressed up as his character from that movie with James Bond, where they're like, I don't know, stealing from the Kentucky Derby or something. I don't know, some racing movie, but Adam Driver's got a mustache. I don't. Jay, I need you to edit. I need
No.
you to not look any of that up, but I need you to edit what you think I'm describing.
I missed everything you
God.
said, and I am so filled with horror at what I will discover when I sit down to edit this. I was just getting ready to change topics because you know me, I'm always trying to keep it moving, and I just heard the tail end of Adam Driver with a mustache and was immediately horrified.
Oh no, you'll see. You're gonna have a fun re-listen.
I have questions about Palpatine's master plan in this movie.
That's
Whose master
That's
plan
the
is
undercurrent of
Master
Star
Bates?
Wars.
I know, but I have questions.
Whose master plan? Was he a friend of Master Bates?
Christopher? I would be so proud if I wasn't so angry.
Oh, Jay is gone. Oh.
But Jay's gone. We can talk about pod racing.
I will destroy you.
So, Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Palpatine's master plan is to send a clone out into the universe, let that clone get freaky with it, and make a grandchild. And have the grandchild murder him to become him. But also, what we're going to do is we're going to send a Sith assassin with a dagger that we made after the Battle of Endor, because that's the only way that, like, the dagger's cut out to fit the Death Star, like,
or
wreckage.
it's an old relic and they fucking gutted it to add something new to it.
Or that. Either way. And then he puts Sith writing on it, gives it to the Sith assassin, says, hey, when the parents hide the daughter, when you find the parents, you have to stab them both with this dagger specifically. And then also die in a place where Luke can possibly find you, so that she can then possibly get the dagger and possibly get to Endor and find the other wayfinder.
Is this any more ridiculous convoluted than all of Palpatine's other supposed plans, though, where he's white knuckling it as a fucking Star Cruiser's going down? Like, oh, I've gone too far.
I think we've established throughout the history of this podcast that Palpatine isn't a specific planner. He's like, I will lay the foundation of these things that have happened, and the Force takes everything else because I can't control it.
One of those people, those like cultists, come down that like long hallway to Palpatine, who's like only a quarter of the way regrown at this point, and he's in his little chair. He looks like Krang. He's in a fucking tank, and one of those cultists.
This movie would have been better if Palpatine was Krang in a Snoke body.
No, one of the cultists comes up. It's like, my lord, that the Sith assassin, we have news. Yes, what has he done? Is he following my orders? Well, he fell into a snake hole. It's not
a very handsome snake.
It's not looking good. He's dead, sir, and the dagger, it appears lost. Palpatine floating. All right, no, I can spin this. All right, so, well,
he just kind of looks at him and goes, "Oh well, all according to plan," and he just keeps walking or hovering on the fucking hover chair thing.
I think I Can Spin This is just a description of Palpatine's evil Sith Lord and political career. No, wait. Oh, shit. Everything's gone to shit. Oh, no.
It's just
wait.
Palpatine,
I can spin this.
With like a secret cell phone, like in a corner, just like crouched down, like, listen, hey. No, look, nobody else can know. I need you to get some information to Luke Skywalker. Who am I? No, just oh, nobody.
I'm just an old lady in the Tatooine desert. I'm just passing a message.
Just passing a message. I remember those Skywalkers. Yeah, there. Uh, always causing trouble burying lightsabers out in the middle of the desert.
God, I feel like Palpatine is a more successful Walter White. Like, he has no idea what he's doing, but in the moment, he creates a great plan that will absolutely fuck him about 2 days down the line. Like, I think that's just Palpatine.
There's that great, I can never remember the name of it. There's that great fucking animation someone did, and it's up on YouTube of like Palpatine, just like, I guess I'll meditate on this planet for however many. He's like shit talking Yoda's ghost.
Palpatine with a broken back laying on a random planet until Rise of Skywalker happens. It's so good.
It's really good.
I have a comment about the ending of this movie.
It's bad.
This is the positive comment.
It would be positive if they did this. I think this movie's ending would have been a lot better if Palpatine ended up killing both Rey and Kylo, and it set up for a follow-up trilogy. I'm not even kidding.
I mean, yeah, but they weren't gonna do that.
I know, but like, how great would that be? Because
Well,
we'd finally have like a movie where it's like, oh no, the bad guys are winning, because
Wait, there
you
we
don't
go.
get any of that in this trilogy.
Then that would require them to know that Ian McDiarmid is gonna be alive for another trilogy.
Here's
You're
what we do.
right.
We do one more trilogy, and this one's dark as shit. The first movie of that trilogy, Ryan Johnson. Second movie of that trilogy, Game of Thrones guys. Third movie of that trilogy, Zack Snyder.
Fuck up. I hate all of this.
Hallelujah plays in every trailer for the whole trilogy.
I can't explain how much I abhor Zack Snyder. And Game of Thrones for that matter, but Zack Snyder. I think I was on a different mental state than everybody else when I watched this movie. And I think the best way to describe that mental state was I was thinking when Rey takes the skipper off into the water and nearly gets drowned by tidal waves, but the Force helps her, I guess. I couldn't get the image of Team Rocket trying to follow Ash Ketchum in Pokemon the movie 2000 out of my head. Just like constantly getting berated and drowned under the water is all I kept thinking of, and I'm like, that's a pretty good description of how mentally shut down I am right now. I'm thinking about Pokemon the movie 2000 instead of this Star Wars movie. That makes sense for how broken I am.
The way my brain has redone this movie with bits at this point, it's like I'm on LSD watching this movie. Like, fucking Luke comes walking out of the fire, and I just hear da 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 da. Like,
That's because we were talking about it while it was happening. You know what? This proves that I can just plant any thought into your brain when you're high. Because when we were on that call and I was trying to finish the movie, I literally said, Luke Skywalker walking out of the fire like Terminator, and then it took you like 30 seconds to realize what I was saying and just started going. And now that you're away from it and don't remember that night.
Didn't realize how Pavlovian this podcast has become.
You're like, a new core memory has been unlocked. I don't know where it came from, but I know it instinctually.
I'm just like sweating all of a sudden.
I feel like I had this conversation before, but I can't remember why. It's because you were high, Chris. It's because you were high. I can't imagine what it's like for you, the amount that you get high to record these shows when you go back and listen to them now. Because I know you don't remember.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's great. It's fantastic. 'Cause it's brand new for me too. So
by the time it comes out, I've listened to the show about 3 times, and Chris is just like, I don't remember being there. It's fantastic.
I always put in our fucking Discord group like, that was a pretty good episode that I have no recollection of.
Well, to be fair, between Chris getting high and my abhorrent memory, it's like I was waiting for the Master Bates episode. It felt like for like ages. I was like, that should have been out by now.
No, 6 weeks.
And all of a
6
sudden,
weeks.
like, I know, but it felt like we recorded it, like,
Yeah.
forever before that. And I didn't remember it being the same episode as, like, another bit we did that episode. And I was just like, oh, fuck.
I mean, it's a month and a half wait.
You know what I think is going to be fun at some point, and it's getting to the point now, I think, for me. At some point, I'm going to go back and I'm going to re-listen to this podcast from the beginning.
Oh, God.
What I can't imagine the journey it's been for some people as I've just devolved. I've stopped trying to make intelligent conversations for the most part, and I've just become a massive pothead over this quarantine podcast.
Yeah, I mean, capitalism has decided that the pandemic is over, so we're reaching the point where we're officially taking a couple steps outside of the pandemic for the first time in the history of the podcast. And I don't know what that's going to be like.
Now I just fully realize my role here is to shitpost, and
I mean, if I don't shitpost, I'm just sad. So that's what the podcast has become. I'm sure at some point it's just going to be 3 grumpy people just sitting there like, yeah, I watched fucking Star Wars this week. I'm so fucking tired of like, I don't know, fucking Hayden Christensen's hair sucks or something. I wouldn't have thought that fucking 2 years ago, but now here I am, and I just
fucking adore
Hayden
that
Christensen's hair is amazing.
I'm at the point where, like, with
I'm
this
just thinking
movie
the most random
specifically,
thing that would piss us off.
I'm at the point now with this movie specifically where it's like, I think this episode's been a pretty good example of it. These episodes specifically are going to be the ones where we talk about this fucking movie the least, I think, because what the fuck else are we going to say about this shit?
The ending of the Kylo Ren duel is really bad.
Yes! Yes, it is!
I feel like, because of the way they did it, you remember 3 things from the... Like, I know that you were just like, what the fuck are we going to say about it? And I'm like, here's something to say about it, but that's like, what else am I supposed to do? The ending makes it seem like Rey's just gassed.
Yeah.
And it's so weird.
You know, in the midst of this, JJ Abrams this week deciding to just, go full mask off and just, we probably should have planned more for this movie.
Yeah,
I was going through a thread on Twitter, and someone, I've forgotten their name, and I probably wouldn't plug their Twitter anyway because it was some random person on the internet, made a very good point where they just responded with like, no, the problem here is that you guys got someone who admitted to not liking Force Awakens to direct Last Jedi, and then you got somebody who didn't like The Last Jedi to do Rise of Skywalker. So it's like there's just a stacking fucking...
But here's the problem with that is Ryan was already signed on before The Force Awakens came out, before The Force Awakens script was finalized. So you can't... It's hard to, like, say, well, you got someone who didn't like The Force Awakens to direct. That movie was being made before that movie came out in theaters. Yeah. Like, all he had to work off of was the script.
I just hate talking about movie production because we only talk about it with the movies I hate.
I mean, I talk about it with the prequels quite a lot.
We should really, we should make a concerted effort to do. You know, we should make a concerted effort to do.
What?
Because I feel like it could be a lot of fun and it could actually like spice up next rotation. We should make a concerted effort when we're watching these movies. It could be a good way to break Jay's rule where she decides to put all of her undivided attention on the movie. We should do some research while we're watching the movie on like production trivia and stuff, and shout out some production stories. Or
you can do that. I have a thing I'm going to do next rotation. Be prepared. It's going to be the stupidest thing I've ever done.
You can do that. I hate movie production.
That's such a weird thing to say.
It bores me.
The way you said so that, I took that as you would want to talk about it, but we only do it on the ones that you don't like, so you were upset about it. So okay, I'll not. No, I thought you were like lamenting that we don't do it for the other movies.
No, I more meant like it's just like a topic I'm not vested in personally, so I just like
Well, fuck movie production.
check out sometimes. It's just
Fuck movie productions. I love
reads
watching
like
movies, but
it reads like tabloid drama to me, and I'm just like, with
I
these
don't-
movies.
what does that mean?
Like, it's like, oh, this person didn't like what that person
I
did.
think it's funny because
Well,
a lot of the times with some of the stuff that George Lucas did while filming the prequel trilogy,
Like,
it's like it
bringing
goes
down the oxygen levels.
it goes far beyond like celebrity tabloid gossip and like into like, oh, what's the statute of limitations on this? What are
It's like when you click on something knowing it's clickbait and then slowly realizing it's an actual thing, and you're like, wait.
Rick McCallum come on the podcast.
Jay, no.
Don't tell me no. Rick McCallum's gonna come on this podcast, Ben. Don't you
Rick.
fucking tell me no. I have been vested in this since the beginning of the
Rick.
second rotation. Don't fucking say, listen, pod racing motherfucker. Don't you tell me no.
Rick,
I don't want to hear no from
learn-
you.
I will learn at least a little bit of whatever the language they speak where you are currently in the Czech Republic. I will learn at least a little bit. I'll learn a few words if you come on the podcast and we can have a chat. Rick probably doesn't know any of the words that you. Maybe yeah.
I would be willing to learn Czech to speak with Rick McCallum.
You
Just
could
like,
check that off your list of languages to learn.
hello? Echo's gone. I had no intention of ever learning a language. But I will if it's what I need.
Love that our audio issues totally fucking let you skip over that horrific pun that I thought was gonna put you out for the rest of the show.
I'd missed
What about
it entirely.
checking that language off your list?
Checking that language, you can check that language off your list of languages.
I'm done. I cannot take it anymore.
I will say there's wasted potential in this movie.
There is?
That duel with Rey and Kylo towards the end, that ends in such a horrible way, has potential to be a really good duel.
Yeah.
Especially the end part out there. Like, I'm not a big fan of the crashed Death Star ruins plot hook.
Yeah.
But the end part with them fighting near the water could at least have been a really good duel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot there. I mean, one thing you can say about the sequel trilogy is it played really well off of natural effects, playing off of lightsabers or things that's never been done with lightsabers that everybody's thought about, and like ocean water smacking off of lightsabers and steam coming up and that kind of stuff. Great idea. It's just the lightsaber duel is so secondary to everything else going on, and the communication it's trying to tell with Rey is kind of muffled in such a way that it's just kind of like the action falls so far down that it could have been so much better.
So what you're telling me is, Ochi captures Rey's parents on Jakku and is flying away in his ship with them in his ship as Rey is like on the ground yelling no, and Ochi's like, maybe that's that little girl that the Emperor wanted me to murder. Nah, he just flies the fuck away.
I mean, I'm not gonna defend it. I'm just not gonna. I'm exhausted. I hate Rise of Skywalker so fucking much.
Is at a point like, and we've made a concerted effort to make it not be the case, but this movie really becomes like such a downer. At least one of us is really just not feeling it every time we get to this movie.
Which, to be fair, is part of the draw of the show, but also...
You have a draw?
Yeah.
It's like everything the movie can do to get you invested, it immediately takes back.
Yeah.
Anything that the previous two movies, which I would consider both good, like, it's the opposite of the prequels for me. I put both of them on the same level, but it's the opposite of the prequels for me, where I think the prequels have one good movie and two bad movies. I consider this trilogy to have two good movies and one bad movie.
Can I pitch the really bad idea I had, I think, like 2 rotations ago that I never brought up?
Oh, no.
So this fucking movie is so dumb and so bad. It really could have benefited a bit, I think, from getting like the Avengers Endgame treatment of just way too much going on just because we can. Like, they could have done some dumb special effect bullshit
I mean,
and
I feel
like,
like they tried that.
That's what this movie is.
no, listen, you don't understand the batshit stuff that's about to come out of
Palpatine
my mouth.
does the bass
Hold-
noise when some big
Ben,
thing happens.
hold on.
You don't
Hold
understand
on.
In the
that
movie.
shit. You don't
Hold
understand.
on, he's
that
very
shit stuff
high
that's
and
about
he
to come
says
out
he's
of my
gonna
mouth.
say something batshit. I need
So-
to hear it.
Here's my pitch, and I'm not saying that I think this is a good idea or that it would have made the movie good, because I think it would have been really dumb and I would have laughed hysterically at it forever. But this is my pitch of what they could have done. So they keep doing this bullshit. Oh, all of the Jedi live within you, and all of the Sith live within me. Rah. What
Why
we should
is he
have gotten.
Wario?
Rah, rah. We
Live
should
action Mario movie with Ian McDermott as Wario. Continue.
we we should have gotten this scene, and while they're doing like their duel and the lightning and everything, just give us like a bunch of Force ghosts. They never do. The Force ghosts are barely used. Just give us a bunch of Force ghosts and give us like. Don't do like just red Force ghosts for the Sith. Do like weird, like, I don't know, smoke monsters or something. Like, make it like, so you don't break your, well, the Sith can't be ghosts rule. And, just give me something batshit. We're doing, this is the last one. Fucking, we're shooting the franchise in the head anyway. Just fucking go all out. Go even bigger and dumber.
I'm gonna be honest, Chris. I absolutely hate that idea.
So do I. But I'm like, come on, man. Like, at least it'd be more stuff to look at. That's not just Palpatine doing lightning again. Oh, fucking Palpatine's doing lightning again. Oh, what's he gonna do? Not turn it off, Dib? Yep, there it is. Fucking, I'm sick of it. I didn't need Palpatine electrocute space.
If the name of the show is A Palpatine Electrocute Space.
You know what this movie did? This movie made Palpatine fucking Steven Seagal in every movie Steven Seagal has made in the last 10 years.
I think I've already made that edit.
Where he just sits in a chair for half of the movie and doesn't do anything. And it's just Palpatine sitting in a chair electrocuting all of the ships.
I mean,
And that's our end fight.
let's be fair though. That's Palpatine in most of the movies. Like 90% of the climax of the original trilogy is
He is
Palpatine
him.
sitting there going like, "You want to murder me, don't you?"
Most of the prequel movies are him sitting in a chancellor's seat going, hey, can you bring out, is everybody out of the room? Okay, bring that hologram out. I gotta talk to, no, I need you to leave the room. Oh, you're not gonna leave? Okay, hello.
My God, I would love to see one of the senators walking back into Palpatine's office and be like, "Oh, by the way, sir, are those Keenobians you're talking to?" No.
I mean,
Are those,
no.
sir, are those khakis?
Are those the one time Palpatine gets out of his chair to go start shit in Episode 3, Yoda hurls him back at it. We really don't want to talk about this movie.
No.
Hey, Ben,
God. Yeah,
bring us the weird Wikipedia.
I felt that coming.
And then we'll end the show with a list of,
I'm excited for this.
the redone list of the movies we can stand and not stand in order. Is it a short one?
I hate this one.
Okay.
Today on Weird Wikipedia we have Squad.
Squad? As
Squad.
in unit?
Like, as in a squad of troops.
Link it.
I'm working on it.
That's hilarious that's a...
Squad. There's a canon and legends page.
We gotta get the squad together.
The Star Squad?
The Star Squad.
Star Squad is a great non-gender conforming name.
Non-gendered.
Yeah.
Squad was generally part of a large military formation consisting of soldiers
I hate
or
this.
operators. I can't read the word operator because I once had a friend
It's
who,
just
like,
a bunch.
anytime he was talking about something like cool or badass, he'd be like, "That's so operator," and we're like, "Dude, that's not gonna become a thing." He's like, "No, I'm making it a thing."
It's just a bunch of clones in like Under Armour sneakers and 511 tactical pants.
I like that the canon quote for this is Thrawn saying 2 squads of stormtroopers should be enough to handle 1 alien. Just like randomly, like, dude, just don't put in a quote at that point. You don't
I love
need the
that.
quote.
I love that at that point it's almost like, well, that's just an insult. Why is that the quote that we went with? Because that's Thrawn with a backhanded, like,
No,
well,
that's not
our
Thrawn.
stormtroopers
That's an
suck.
Imperial captain trying to take down Thrawn.
Gotcha.
Which makes it
Oh.
so much funnier because,
Okay,
like,
that's actually
half the
deeply
Imperial
funny.
Navy couldn't take down Thrawn. Fight me.
Meanwhile, the quote on the legend side is "Oddball, do you copy? Copy, Red Leader. Mark my position and form your squad behind me." Why?
I love that, like, this fucking jobber squad has a fucking Wikipedia page. Like, it's just a Wikipedia page for just random people.
Random rank
Like,
and file. And it's a
Wikipedia doesn't need
long
to explain
Legends
squad to
article.
me.
The Legends article is huge.
It's long.
It goes into different Imperial squads and, like, what their emblems are and all this shit, and it's just
And,
like,
like,
whoa.
different, like, oh, they only have the Republican
I'm
Imperial.
at the point
flag,
where
'cause
I
of course
think
they do.
that Wikipedia just has an article for everything in the known universe at this point. Like,
They-
there's a Wikipedia article for just door. It's like, door, generally made of wood, used to enter rooms and block off. It's like, what the
Way to
fuck are we
find
doing
out.
here?
Let's find out.
Well, I know they don't have an article for penis.
And there it is.
Nope.
We went from door to penis
No,
in
because that was a whole big
in
thing.
2
'Cause, like,
moves.
Wikipedia has an article about breasts
Yeah,
because it's run by a bunch of horny white guys.
that's true.
And there was, like, some controversy back in the day where they're like, hey, there should be an article about, like, you know, different kinds of genitalia if you're really going to go down this path. Like, you either got to go all or nothing. And they were just like, nah, we're going to keep our boob article. Go fuck yourself.
Show the shithole or get off the pot.
Mom, no, I can't come to dinner. I'm editing the boobs page on Wikipedia, Mom.
So, to get us... Oh, no.
For
What have you
shits and giggles, I went to the Wikipedia breast page to see it's updated to include a canon article.
Oh,
And
okay.
the image they use is Ben Solo when he's shirtless.
No.
No way.
Kylo Ren has noticeable chest muscles beneath his breasts.
No fucking way. Oh my god. No fucking way.
Oh fuck.
What?
Welcome to Star Wars.
I'm not reading this on the podcast. I implore you, audience,
No.
go to the breast page on Wikipedia and just fucking read it. Just read it. It's fantastic. It's really good. If you click on the Legends page of the breast article, is it just Rule 34?
Oh, it actually used to be like lifted fan art of, was it Ayla Secura, I believe?
I think so, yeah.
Naked. But now it's Anakin Skywalker in episode 2 when he's putting his shirt on after getting up from his nightmare.
Fantastic. Incredible.
You overcorrected.
Well, I'm glad they're not like, hey, let's just put straight up smut on our articles.
Exactly, but this is such a
This
compromise.
is so much better.
Wikipedia, write the dick article, you cowards.
This is the best thing ever. Well, listen, first we need to let the Game of Thrones guys do their trilogy before we can get that article really
That'll
going.
get it made. So, it's been 5 rotations.
Indeed, the time has come.
The time has come to update our lists of Star Wars movies in order from best to worst. Now,
You
I
two
don't
made
know.
that sound really grim for a second. I was getting scared. I'm like, what didn't I do?
The
My
council has
Kool-Aid packet didn't
convened.
come in the mail.
It's time for Star Wars Seppuku.
Yes, finally.
Just like Hux
Sweet
should have done.
release.
You cowards. You fucking cowards.
So we're going to update our favorite to least favorite movies list. I would like to say ahead of time, I don't know about my friends here. This list is no longer about quality. It's about what's the most watchable in this thing that we do every fucking week. So that's my list.
I have no excuses or explanations for my list, and I'm excited to hear the analysis of my list.
We'll
I
save
have
Chris
a
for last.
tie on my list, I will admit.
We'll save Chris for last because I have been hinted at multiple times that we're not going to be happy with it for whatever reason.
I just think a lot of people aren't going to be happy with it.
A lot of people aren't happy when you have an opinion on Star Wars.
Why would you accept any opinion that we have on Star Wars at this point? Like us three specifically.
Well, I mean, we're Star Wars experts.
I feel like we're the most qualified because we've seen these movies.
No. We're not going down that train of thought.
Have we seen these movies more than anyone else on the planet at this point?
God, no, definitely not.
I wish that were the fact. Because I feel bad for anyone who's watched these movies more than us.
Do this. We've got to hit that.
I watched these movies more in my teenage years than we have so much. I had it on just constant replay when we didn't have cable over and over and over again.
Well, that's the thing. Star Wars fans do that in general, but now we have scheduled it. And I've watched these movies extracurricularly outside of the fucking podcast watches. Like, during the podcast.
Really?
Why?
Well, people have. It's been on TV.
Okay, that's
every
different.
I thought you meant like you sat down and you were like, I know I just watched episode 7, but like I'm really feeling like watching episode 3 right now.
Yeah, like I am of the opinion, and I have to. If you take our opinion about Star Wars seriously, you're in the wrong place because at the top of the show I said no one should consume any content, let alone Star Wars, the way we do. And our opinions of the shows have changed because of it. Yeah, anyone that will say we're the true fans because we watch Star Wars, no, fuck you, we're terrible.
No, that's not what I was saying. But
I don't trust my opinion on Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, I don't agree with my own opinion on Star Wars most of the time. I'm arguing with myself constantly, like, no, you fucking asshole, we're not.
Because we watch Star Wars every week forever. Okay, let's start off with Ben. Ben, what's your order? You read off your order, and then I will compare and contrast it to the original one you posted.
And I will be the third order.
You son of a bitch.
Well, I'll just do these in order of rank. So episode 1, 10 out of 10 pods. Episode 4, I have tied for 10 out of 10, because it still gives me a massive nostalgia trip. Then I have episode 5, I have a 9 out of 10, because fucking dinner scene.
Yeah.
Episode 3's at an 8 out of 10. Lots of lava. Who doesn't love the lava level?
It'd be a perfect movie if it was combined with the underwater level from Phantom Menace.
For episode 7, I have 6 out of 10. Its note is A Newer Hope again.
A newer, shinier hope.
Episode 6, I have at 5 out of 10. Space Teddy Bears. Episode 8 is a 4 out of 10. The note is ah. And episode 9 is a 1 out of 10, and its note is ah.
You're missing one here.
Am I? What did I skip?
Yeah. So your order is Phantom Menace, A New Hope, Empire, Revenge of the Sith, Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. You're missing one.
Did I miss?
Attack of the Clones you missed.
Oh, Attack of the Clones, I have 3 out of 10. Its note is Kill Me.
So, would that be below or above Rise of Skywalker?
It would be
second
to last. Yeah, second to last, right behind Episode 9. Ah!
So, let's analyze this. Your old list was A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, Attack of the Clones, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, The Phantom Menace, The Rise of Skywalker. That was your old list. Your new list takes Phantom Menace from 8 to 1.
Can I say that's what happens when you join the pod racing cult?
Moves Empire down 1. Moves, and this is the most damning to me, moves Revenge of the Sith down... Oh, wait, no, it just moves it down 1. Never mind. Moves Return of the Jedi down from 4 to 6. Moves Attack of the Clones down from 5 to 8, which is fair. Moves The Force Awakens from 6 to 5, so technically it went up. The Last Jedi goes from 7 to 7. It remains in its spot. A New Hope goes down to 2, where it was at 1. And Rise of Skywalker remains your least favorite.
That sounds accurate.
That's where we were at last year around this time versus now.
Jesus Christ, it's been almost a year.
We recorded our first preview episode about a month and a half before we recorded the beginning of the rotations. So, yeah, next week, a year, as far as the preview episode. Mine. So, here is my current list. Number 1, Revenge of the Sith, because it's easily the best watch. And let me make clear, this is in terms of my favorite watches, not my favorite, the terms of quality. It's just my favorite watches. Revenge of the Sith is 1, Empire is 2, A New Hope is 3, Return of the Jedi is 4. I'm immediately, confused at that, actually, now that I think about it. 5, The Force Awakens, 6, The Last Jedi, 7, The Phantom Menace, 8, Attack of the Clones, 9, Rise of Skywalker. So the changes that happened is Revenge of the Sith moved up from 3 to 1, Empire Strikes Back moved from 1 to 2, A New Hope moved from 2 to 3, Return of the Jedi moved from 5 to 4, The Force Awakens moved up from 6 to 5, The Last Jedi moved down from 4 all the way down to 6, because it's just so fucking long. 7, 8, and 9 are the exact same as they were at the beginning. Wait, no, they aren't. Rise of Skywalker and Attack of the Clones switched places. Attack of the Clones is no longer 9. It goes up to 8. Rise of Skywalker moves from 8 to 9, and I'm pretty sure I made that decision, in the first rotation. Chris. I would like to just say your old list before you even do this.
Okay.
Because it is not what I remembered. Your old list is Revenge of the Sith, The Empire Strikes Back, Attack of the Clones.
Yep, I remember it being up there.
A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, The Phantom Menace, The Rise of Skywalker. What's your current list?
You know what? Not as radically different as I thought.
Attack the Clones went up to first.
Pretty similar, actually. Yeah, no.
The
Unlike you, dead. I know when a bit should stay buried.
You see, the funny part is you guys still think it's a bit.
My list
I know it's a bit because every time we get to Phantom Menace, you say, "Oh, it's Duel of the Fates and pod racing. It's the only thing that got me through this terrible fucking movie."
Yeah. Ergo, I love pod racing.
But you're miserable.
My list.
Yes.
Is Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker.
So, as always, Chris is bold. Revenge of the Sith remains at number 1. Empire remains at number 2. Attack of the Clones has moved from 3rd to 7th, which is the only consolation in this entire process. A New Hope moved from 4 to 5, which I don't know why one spot seems so insulting.
Chris looks so broken right now.
Return of the Jedi moved from...
They switched spots. I switched them. I flipped them.
Return of the Jedi moves from 5 to 4.
I swapped
And then... The Force Awakens moves from 6 to 3. Phantom Menace moves from 8 to 6.
It's improving.
I'm getting Chris there.
It's getting better.
I'm getting Chris there.
Wait till you hear my sick Jar Jar Seinfeld routine next week.
Oh, I regret everything. Oh, I regret everything.
The Last Jedi moves from 7th to 8th, which I get it, but I don't get it.
You dick, Ryan.
And Rise of Skywalker remains at 9.
Like you put
So,
Knives Out too, but eat a dick, Ryan.
I get it, but I don't get it. Like,
I get it.
It's pretty, I make choices. That's what I do here. I make choices.
I make choices. 5 rotations.
5 fucking rotations.
Fuck.
Where do we feel like we're at?
The end of the line.
I feel like for 9 weeks I have watched Star Wars and then did that 4 more times.
That would be accurate, Chris.
This is our mental health check-in.
Think about it. Think about what that would do to you as a person right now. You listen.
Yeah.
Listen. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Think about it. You're sitting on the couch or a chair. I don't judge, whichever one. Stretch your legs out, maybe. You get an ottoman of some sort.
You have strong opinions about where people sit, Chris?
It's a piece of furniture, not the Empire. But there you go. And you watch your Star Wars.
This has to be the most high you've ever been on a show.
You watch your Star Wars for the week. Because that's a thing that you have to think about now. It's, I gotta watch my Star Wars for the week. And then, you do that for fucking 9 weeks. And then you do that 4 more times. Just think about that. Think about what that would do to you. You have a life. You have people who care about you.
It would do this to you, apparently.
I'm still stuck on the Ottoman. The chair, not the Empire. I did not think we'd be talking about the Ottoman Empire on our Star Wars podcast.
I think, to be fair, I'll take any opportunity to talk about the Ottoman Empire. But
yeah, but like...
Buy Jay a shirt just says, please let me talk to you about the Ottoman Empire. I really want to talk about the Ottoman Empire.
Ben, how do you feel after 5 rotations of this terrible idea?
I feel like I wish I was high.
Our straight edge kid feels like he's high.
It would take the pain away. I'm good. I'm looking forward to when I go back and listen to Rotation 1 when there were all the comments of like, thank God Ben's the bubbly one because he'll get us through this. And now I'm just sitting here like, my soul is dead.
Me, I'm sitting here fucking elevator pitching drug-induced fever dreams.
Jay.
I'm just sitting here thinking about the preview episode where I talked some bullshit when we did this same... First of all, if you suggest a show to friends, don't have them listen to the preview episode. Just start at episode 1. Seriously. It's the bane of my existence. That thing should not have been aired. I feel like most people start with the preview episode and they're like, I don't want to listen to this. They're taking it too seriously. And then in the next episode that they will never listen to, it's like, do you want to hear my multiple conspiracy theories about the Phantom Menace? Because that actually is
including
interesting.
but not limited to pod racing and political maneuvering.
And the state of news channels in Star Wars. I said some bullshit about, like, killing the sacred cow, which we've done.
Did we
And,
go
like,
right off the bat with Qui-Gon's on Space Coke? Or was
Yep.
that like
that was
second rotation?
the first episode.
First
was
one.
titled,
Episode was
Stardust
Cocaine Space
Gam-
Uncle or whatever it was.
It was
Cokehead
titled
Space
Gam-
Uncle.
Starting off strong.
Alright, let me look at my records.
Jay's pulling up the list.
Let me look at my records. Gambling kids and doing space coke.
Space Coke. Oh, how far we've come.
Yeah. I said some bullshit about, like, maybe growing to love some shit more, and then also killing the sacred cow so nostalgia doesn't get to me. I killed something. I don't know what. It's somewhere inside me,
Passion.
and I don't have the
Love of
guts
Star
to say.
Wars.
I don't have the guts to look at a therapist and say, I killed some kind of emotional piece of me, and I'm not sure what, because I do Star Wars every week forever as a podcast. I don't have the guts to say that to a therapist.
I think more it's we probably wouldn't have the guts to say we had this great idea to watch one Star Wars movie every week for the rest of our lives, and then they'd just be like, well, let me tell you about where your trauma seems to have started.
Yeah, I realized recently, like, I've been looking around, like, to go start seeing a therapist again recently, and that thought genuinely crossed my mind of, like, that's gonna come up at some point, isn't it?
How do I ease my therapist into this?
Like, that's gonna come up at some point.
If your therapist says you need to stop doing the podcast, I can't say I won't say, okay, you need to stop doing the podcast.
And I'm gonna tell them for mental health reasons I cannot. I hope
You
you
need
will
to get a new
understand, and they
therapist.
will be like, stop.
Listen, you need to be ride or die, all right? You know all my deepest, darkest secrets. You need to be ride or die. I need you to talk about Palpatine conspiracy theories with me. Let's riff this out a little bit. No, Chris, stop. Stop doing a Sheev Palpatine voice. Lord Vader. Lord Vader, listen to me. You're doing it again.
I can't tell if that's Palpatine or a pirate.
You're going into a fugue state where you do a bad Sheev Palpatine impression.
One day,
And eventually you're just using nautical terms that don't mean anything.
One day you just roll up to therapy talking like using the Palpatine voice out of nowhere. Hello, how are you? Ben, what happened? What? Nothing.
In all honesty.
I brought this leg with me. It belongs to my apprentice.
Couldn't leave him at home with it. He would be too mobile.
I gotta stop this line of thought, because otherwise I'm just gonna start doing a bit where Palpatine goes to a therapist and that's the full bit, because I can't do that now. We're so late into this episode.
Oh, I can't wait for next week.
So here's what I'll say. The nostalgia's dead. I don't know if I will ever willingly consume another piece of Star Wars content. It's this fleeting moment every once in a while of, like, I should do a Star Wars thing. Oh no, I spend at least a day and a half of my week recording, watching, and editing Star Wars related shit. That said, at the same time, it's been so rewarding to have our small but incredibly, incredibly devoted fan base to interact with. And to just sit down and make an excuse to get you two to get to know each other better. And, like, just bullshit Friday or Saturday nights. And just allow our brains to turn off and just do whatever the fuck we do here. And I'm deeply happy about that. Until the inevitable day where my brain shuts off and I'm sent to a home just doing bad. Doing bad Palpatine.
Jay, no. Jay, you can't make me feel this wholesome and then just have it crash down.
The end of
now
this
I'm just
podcast,
thinking of, like,
that's this podcast,
us,
though, if we're being real.
The end of this podcast is us in a home doing Palpatine impersonations, thinking we're in a Denny's in Wisconsin.
I'm now terrified thinking of like the day that like Jay's in a retirement home or something, and like the nurse or the assistant is pushing them in a wheelchair, and Jay will be like, "I remember the days I watched Star Wars every week forever," and they'll be like, "Uh-huh, yeah, those were the days," and Jay will just sit there and go,
yes,
"Yeah," for like the next half hour.
Yes, Miss J, I remember those days too. We're wheeling a TV into the room right now for you to watch Rise of Skywalker. No.
There is times where, we'll end the podcast. And
It's not that time.
no, there are times where we end the podcast and I hang up my headphones and I go out in the living room and I face my wife, who looks at me like, "How'd it go?" And I have to look at my wife and go, "Yeah, I'm proud of what I did in there."
That is a perfect summation of the podcast. Being proud of something you should not be proud of. But thank you all so much for listening to our bullshit. Genuinely, it's the best part of my week. And editing it, as much as I bitch, is so wonderful. This has been Star Wars Every Week Forever. Next rotation, I'm going to do something really, really super dumb, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Good night.
Hello, all you beautiful people, and thank you very much for joining us on yet another week of Star Wars Every Week Forever. We upload every Wednesday around noon on various platforms, including YouTube, Spotify, TuneIn, and many others. If you have any friends, companions, people you would like to torture with our presence, feel free to send them our way. You know where to find us. If you would like to interact with the show and the various co-hosts, being me, Josh, and Chris, you can find us quite easily on Twitter at SWEWF. We check there very regularly, so it's easy to get a hold of us. And I hope all of you wonderful people have a glorious rest of your day. Until next we meet, may the Force be with you.